All right, so now we are working on exceptions to Mendelian genetics. And in this video, we're going to talk about codominance problems. So our aim is to be able to explain codominance. Okay, what does it mean by that pattern of inheritance? And also be able to solve different codominance problems and understand what the different genotypes and phenotypes will be. All right, so when we look at codominance, if you want to start in your yellow packet, all right, we want to understand that codominance is a trait that is determined by, yes, once again, one gene, okay, and still two alleles. But what happens now is that both alleles are equally expressed, all right, and especially in the heterozygous individual. All right, so let's take a look at our key in order to understand this pattern of inheritance. So we can look at this horse down here, and this is called a roan horse. All right, and there are two different alleles, okay, for the gene that expresses coat color. And when we have two big W's, or when we have two white alleles, the horse coat is white. All right, and the other allele that we can have for coat color is a big R, or red. So in order for the coat color to be red, you need two R alleles. But once again, when you have the heterozygous individual, you have one white allele and one red allele, we get not a white, okay, or the dominant allele, we get both white and red. And it's really hard to see in this picture, but if we were to zoom in on the coat of this horse, we would see both white and red hair colors, or coat colors. All right, so let's look at a sample problem, and let's use this as our problem in our shaded box in your yellow packet, all right, under codominance. So in this problem, what we're going to do is we're going to cross a RW horse, and that means that this horse is phenotypically white and red. We're going to cross it by a red horse, and if we think about the genotype for that, remember it needs to be two big R's. So we're going to make a Punnett square just like we have done in the past. I'm going to put parent number 1, our red and white horse, across the top. We'll put our second individual across the side. And we'll look at the different possibilities. All right, so then we can report our genotypes. All right, and our genotypes are RW. Okay, we have 50%. And we have our R at 50%. If we want to think of phenotypes, what they look like, remember, we have 50% of our offspring are going to be red horses, and 50% are going to be red and white horses. We can also call those roan horses. So then we look at our questions that we have down here. How many horses will be pink? Well, that's a silly question. Because it's codominance, we're not going to have an in-between phenotype. All right, remember, in codominance are heterozygous individuals expressed both of those alleles. Therefore, they're going to be red and white. They're not going to be pink. So that would be 0%. All right, and how many of our horses are going to be white? We're also going to have 0%. So make sure you have that sample problem complete, and we'll try one more sample problem. All right, so let's go through the following sample problem. Cows show codominance for color. Okay, what are the colors of the offspring that will result from this cross? So we are going to make a key. Okay, so B is going to be brown. All right, and remember that we need two big alleles in order to equal that brown coat color. And because they're codominant, our other allele is going to be white. We need two big W's in order to get that white coat color that we see right here. And then our heterozygous individual is going to be both brown and white. All right, so make sure you make your key accordingly. All right, let's set up a Punnett square for this problem. And we have a brown horse, so we've got two big B alleles. We've got a white horse, and as you see from the resulting Punnett square, we have 100% of the offspring that are going to have the genotype BW, okay? And that means 100% of our offspring are going to be both brown and white when we look at the phenotype. And this is what our brown and white horses are going to look like. So what you need to remember with codominance, okay, is that both of the alleles are going to be expressed. Both alleles equally expressed.